Welcome to the Mendota Railroad Museum in Illinois. I want to talk a little bit today about this HO scale model layout that I built for the museum back in 1994 to 97. And I want to, people always ask me, well, how did this all come about? And when I do tell them the story, they say, oh man, that's a really cool story, you should record that. So that's what I'm doing. All right, when we moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, and we used to live here in Mendota from 72 to 81, we moved away to Las Vegas, Nevada. And as the years went by, I became nostalgic and kind of missed the old hometown, and we'd come back and visit Grandma, and Grandma was still living till 87. But by 87, the Illinois Central was gone, and the Milwaukee Railroad was gone. And when I was growing up here in the early 70s, everything was still here, you know. The Illinois Central had all their tracks, the Milwaukee Road had all their tracks, and the depot is still standing today, thankfully. And all these tracks here, even the Burlington Yard, all of that was still in. The interlocking tower, which I went in as a kid, that was the first model that I scratch built. And I went up in this interlocking tower during the 70s and got to throw one of the levers to throw this switch actually right here, so I got to see that move. That was really cool. So I built just this little diorama. It was like a 2 feet by 3 feet diorama with the tracks here, the crossovers, you know, where all the railroads crossed, the Milwaukee, Illinois Central, and the Burlington. And I built this just for myself. And what happened was, as I was collecting old photographs, you know, I was really nostalgic, and I wanted to learn more about the history of Mendota, so I had the books, Tracks of Time and The Magnificent Whistle Stop, reading up on the history of Mendota. And by collecting the photographs from Leo Mulock and Bill Slusher, mainly Leo Mulock because he had all the Mendota ones, Bill Slusher mainly LaSalle. Anyway, by looking at all these photographs with a magnifying glass, you know, you can jump inside of them and look around, and it's like time traveling. And so I really got a good idea of all the buildings that used to be here. And so what I wanted to do was build, well, let me back up a little bit. The people that I just mentioned, especially Bill Slusher, who I was collecting photographs from, my Uncle Joe knew Bill from church, and I asked my Uncle Joe, I says, is there anybody in the area that has old photographs of, you know, the old Illinois Central? And he said, yeah, I think there's a guy by the name of Bill Slusher. Well, anyway, as I knew Bill Slusher through a few years, it came about to about 1993 or 94, he says, hey, you know, they're going to be possibly building a railroad museum, or having a railroad museum in the old depot. You might want to, you know, come to the meeting. They're having a meeting. I think it was sometime in the fall. Can't remember. But that would have been 94, maybe. I think it was 94. Could have been 95, but anyway, I didn't have to, but I built all this. This was my idea that I presented to the museum people there, which included Horace Hume, Marcia Hume, and Alan Russell, Bill Greenwood, and Pat and Judy Reed. I remember them. And I presented the idea to them, they liked it, and they says, yes, we give you the green light, build it for our museum. So this was built in Las Vegas, Nevada, from all the old photographs that I had, which are here in the museum here. This is copies here. from the original negatives that Leo done. Anyway, from those photographs I was able to build all these buildings, and some of the buildings thankfully are still there, like the Illinois Central Freight House still stands. The Milwaukee Depot still stands, and that was built in 1904. It is now called the Faber Depot, a fine candy store, old candies, antiques. I sell some of my photographs and postcards in there, and that building is a great building to visit. History of the old Milwaukee. And then we also have this depot here. This is built in 1888, where our museum is housed, and most of it was torn down in 1942, but we still have this part. Come in and check it out. I mean, you can see the old floor, you can see the old beams, the rafters, and it's really a nice museum to visit. We have all kinds of stuff for you to see. We've got a telegraph office, we got rolling stock outside, you can go through all the cars. We got the 4978 steam engine and the way car. And we have gate towers. So it's a really cool place. Alright, so I wanted just to impart what I know as far as the history of how this layout came about. So I think I covered it all. And like I say, there were key people: Harry Schaller, Bill Greenwood, Leo Mulak, Norma Mulak, Alan Russell, Marcia Hume, Pat and Judy Reed. I'm probably forgetting, did I say Bill Greenwood? Anyway, I got involved, and this is my contribution. And so this is the way Mendota looked like back in its heyday. Okay, I remember all these tracks here in the 70s. All three railroads were still going. So I have to pinch myself and say, hey Ray, you were there in the last great chapter of Mendota railroading history. I seen the Milwaukee Road F units go by, and I seen the Jeep 10s of the Illinois Central pulling long freight trains and coal trains and grain trains, and it was just a glorious place. And I lived right on 7th Avenue and 2nd Street, 301 7th Avenue. That's where I lived, and my front yard was the Illinois Central track. So it made a deep impression on me. So as the years went by and we came back and visited Grandma, and this stuff was gone, I said, it was like ripping, my heart out, So I wanted some way to share with people what it was like back in its heyday, and this is why I built the model, so you could see it in a three-dimensional view of what it used to look like. So you can see the old depot, you can see all the old buildings and how the railroads came together. Mendota means crossing of the trails. That's when Illinois Central came to town in 1853, and then shortly after that the Chicago and Aurora, which became the CB&Q, Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, I think in 1856, and they crossed right here. And it was Timothy B. Blackstone that laid out the town of Mendota. He was just 22 years old at the time, and where he laid out the town, it started right there where our, basically where our steam engine 4978 is parked, at the spot of the old Railway Express Agency, which I do have a model on the layout, and there's remnants of the floor out there by the steam engine. And I have a brick mark there. So I would advise you to come and check out the Railroad Museum, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So that's the story in a nutshell. If I forgot anything, I'll kind of type it out in the description. So come and visit the Mendota Railroad Museum. Thank you for listening. Oh, one more thing. I almost forgot. If there's any time left on this segment of the camera, I want to go ahead and just kind of take some video footage of the layout But first, I'm going to have to take the camera off this tripod, so forgive me if it's a little bumpy here. There we go. Okay. All right. This is the Milwaukee Depot that I mentioned. Kind of dark, I'm sorry. Hopefully the whole video ain't dark. Let me go over here. This is the only Central Freight House. It's a little dark there. Sorry. It's a little dark. Okay. Anyway, you'll have to come by and check it out and see for yourself there, okay? Alright, thank you for listening.